Hello, I'm the Bunny Man.
And I'm Crazy Susie.
And we are the Eyes of Terror.
Today's Terror News.
September the 24th to October the 1st of 2017. I read this today. It has superseded The Exorcist as in the box office.
Wow.
It is one of the most top-grossing horror movies of all time. And in other news, talking about that, Mother, which is supposed to be like this other horror movie that came out at the same time as it, yeah, it's failed miserably.
Wow.
We have yet to watch either one of them, so.
Yeah, I don't really go to the theater to see very many movies. Not really popular ones anyway. So we like to view them in the privacy of our own home. That way we can pause and replay certain things and get snacks or go to the bathroom or all of that. So.
Well, we also have our dog, which cannot be left by herself. And
yeah, she has separation anxiety and she has to be by me all the time. She's begging for treats as we speak.
And with your back problems, we can't go either. Really, because those chairs are not that comfortable.
Well, they're comfortable. I just can't sit in the same position for an extended period of time. So.
Okay, so enough about us. So, let's get into the news. So, coming to theaters starting September the 26th is Hashtag from Jennifer.
Hashtag from Jennifer.
Okay, I'm already getting tired of these hashtag movies. At first it was hashtag horror, and that was really, really bad. And then now we're starting this whole hashtag thing. And even the tagline is like, insanity is trending. That's the tagline for this movie.
Well, isn't it going to be fun 20 years from now when generations look back and think, wow, you guys are stupid.
Yeah, it's like revolving a horror movie, and it probably happened, a horror movie around MySpace. Even our daughter's like, MySpace? What is MySpace?
We're like the thing that was like Facebook before Facebook, but it really wasn't a thing. And she goes, oh, okay. I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah. Do you like really glittery gifs and music playing all the time? Because that's what MySpace was. So,
up next.
No. Let's go through it. So, hashtag Jennifer is starring Derek Mears, Tony Todd, Aaron Adams, Neil W.
Gargulio, I believe. Director is Frank Merle. The synopsis. An actress becomes obsessed with internet fame after her manager drops her for not having enough of a social media presence. Wow, it sounds horrible.
Yeah. You don't have a social media presence. Don't you guys usually hire for that? Like, there's at least somebody who does it. Whatever. It's an indie film. I looked at the art prior. It doesn't even look that interesting. So it goes in along with another one of these.
It sounds like one of those films that we will probably end up watching and doing commentary on at some point.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Don't Sleep. It's in theater September the 29th, 2017. Starring Cara Elwes, Andrew Caldwell, Dominic Sherwood, Jason Allen Smith. Director is Rick Bieber. And the synopsis is, after moving into a cottage together, two young lovers confront the horrors of a forgotten childhood. I don't know if it's because it's almost Halloween. We're getting into the October month. We're seeing a lot of these come out. And I wonder if it's just a cash grab because it's like, you're bound to see one of these because you're in that spirit.
I don't know, but the synopsis sounds like hundreds of others that we've seen before.
It sounds like something you would see on Netflix, to be honest. You know, under thriller. So,
I don't know.
It doesn't sound good. Alright, so next up is Flatliners, the remake.
Flatliners 2017.
Yes. Okay, this is another thing I want to bring up. I'm getting tired of remakes.
Well, you know, some people just have to do it. They can't help themselves. It is starring Kiefer Sutherland, Diego Luna, Stefano DiMatteo, Ellen Page. So it's got all the classic people in it. No worries for people that hate when they don't put the original in. They're there. And the director is Niles Arden Opliv. Okay. The synopsis: 5 medical students obsessed by what lies beneath the confines of life embark on a darling experiment by stopping their hearts for a short period of time. Each triggers a near death of the afterlife. If you've seen the original, you know what they do. They hook the person up to all this medical equipment, the heart monitors and whatnot. They basically stop their heart to give them the afterlife experience, and they bring them back.
So it's basically the same thing.
It's really an interesting movie. I mean, I really enjoyed the first one. I remember watching it, and we will probably actually watch the new one, not as soon as it comes out to theater, but later on, and watch the first one, the original, and the second one, just to compare the two. So if you are one of those avid fans of the original Flatliners, you might want to watch the remake just to see if they changed anything or what's going on with it. So, what did you do?
Well, that's it. That's everything in theaters. There's really nothing there. So, I don't know. It's just, at least they bring back a lot of the original cast.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they did that. If they're going to do a new take on an old movie and they try to totally change it by bringing in new people, it really, for me, ruins the whole ambiance of the original. Unless, per se, they're trying to do a new spin on the old thing, and they obviously can't do that because they're doing it in the same time frame or the same era, and the cast members obviously have grown up, and say they're doing it 20 years later, and they obviously can't do that because the cast members are now 30 and they were children at that time,
Yeah, it's just...
Then it's obviously not possible, so then you can understand, hey,
okay,
that's not something that can be done. So now we're on to the
new release
DVDs or Blu-rays.
And again, we get our DVDs from Arrow in the Head. And the great thing about this website is they already have the link to Amazon, but we're not sponsored by them, just so you know. So
we are not sponsored, but we love Amazon. We have an Amazon Prime account and an Amazon Shutter account, which is basically like a bundle pack that you can get through Amazon if you have an Amazon Prime account and you watch the movies through Prime. They have a Shutter account that you can get for not even an extra $5 a month, and you get
a lot of
it's all horror-based movies.
And a lot of it's like classic 80s like horror.
It's all
stuff
it's not all B-rated, but a lot of it is, and a lot of it's movies you can't find anywhere else. They don't have them on Netflix. They don't show them on cable TV. You can't find these movies anywhere else. And they're really, a lot of them are classical movies or gore films or grunge type related.
They even have documentaries. They actually have a documentary on the Norwegian black metal bands. They have a documentary on there about them. It's really interesting.
It really is a wide variety on the Shudder account.
And they even have thrillers and stuff. More darker
they do.
thrillers.
Any kind of horror genre related movies are on there. So
the great thing is, if you like old,
I really do think it's worth less than $5. Well, for us, it is anyway.
And the great thing too is Tales from the Dark Side. They have the entire TV series of Tales from the Dark. Remember when we binge watched the entire 4 seasons?
Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, back to the DVDs. The new DVDs that are coming out.
The first one is After Midnight, which is being released in Blu-ray.
And these come out on September 20th of this year, 2017.
26th. September 26th.
Sorry, September 26th.
The week of that.
I apologize. I couldn't see. Somebody didn't have the screen pinned down far enough.
And then we have Cyborg 2087.
Not the Cyborg.
And then we have The Dead Next Door. Then we have Dimension 5.
Killer Barbies.
And then we have Lycan.
And Dimension 5 and Killer Barbies are available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Lycan is available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Space Camp.
Space Camp is also available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Cabin 28.
Cabin 28. The jacket on that looks really bad. Awesome. And
This looks like a classic B-rated movie right there. I
Yeah,
mean,
like-
that is one that we would own.
Hatchet Man in the Woods.
With a, sort of a Kmart special mask. Channel Zero, Candle Cove. So I've actually watched this one. It's on DVD. I've actually watched this. The Channel Zero. The new season just came out. The Candle Cove is just done by Sci-Fi. It's a TV series. And it's actually based on the actual creepypasta, which is one of my favorite creepypastas, the Candle Cove one. So, and it's done really interestingly. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely check it out. Our next one is RedNet, which is both on
Blu-ray and DVD.
and then
222, which is like the time 222. It's on Blu-ray and DVD.
David Lynch's The Art of Life. And if you don't know who David Lynch is, he's the guy who did Twin Peaks, Eraserhead, very surrealistic director, and he's actually one of my favorite ones because he also did Dune, the 1984 version of Dune. Picked up where there's a whole history there, but it's very interesting, and I would definitely be interested. And it's a documentary.
Yeah. It's also available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yes. So that's really it for the. Now next month is definitely going to be the big horror rush, but just saying, Walmart, Dollar General, and a few other places, right? Will be coming out with their multi-pack, their horror multi-packs,
Yeah.
their Halloween packs.
The dollar store, the Family Dollar has them, and theirs are very obscure.
Yeah.
But we have tons of those too.
And they're
Walmart
usually
does.
$5. Like
Some of theirs are $3 to $5. It just depends. Walmart has them. Amazon carries them too, and they go anywhere from $3 up to $20, depending on if they're well known or not. You know, you get the B-rated films, and they're a little on the cheaper side, and they have the value pack films.
which are
For
like
the old B-rated films, like the black and white Frankenstein and Nosferatu and all that, and you can get those, and you can get Bride of Frankenstein and Dracula, and
a lot of times though they will sell them.
those could be up to $100 for all of them.
Well,
Actually, they're a little over 100, but
But there are some that they have the multi-packs, and this is, 10s and 20 movie packs that we have, that I've collected over the years.
Right.
For like
and
$5.
you can get those for $5 to $10.
You're talking about movies you've never heard of before,
Right.
like Razor Eaters, and you're sitting there going, "I've never heard of this."
I have to know.
Yeah. And you're just like, "Wow, these are really bad," but I can't stop watching. So if you're really into really bad horror movies that you've never heard of before, this is the time to get that collection.
Right.
I mean, to start that collection, I mean, we have over 1,000 movies, mostly in the horror genre.
Yeah, I've never counted them. I would be afraid to know the exact number.
But I mean, we have very few other genre. We have a few kids ones because we obviously have a kid
Right.
and a niece.
Well, we have nieces
niece.
that are smaller, so we keep some kid movies, and I'm kind of like a little kid myself, so I do watch some kids movies. But yeah, 90% of our movie collection is horror genre related.
And a lot of very obscure,
Yeah. Things that you weren't quite sure existed. But they obviously do, because we own them.
Yeah. And that was a collection over when we got married. So, I mean, we had a huge collection independently.
Right.
And it was scary when we got married because we were like, wow, we have like 2 copies of these.
And some of them we had multiple copies of. It's like, how did we end up with 4 copies of these? We both obviously wanted to make sure we had plenty of copies. But I hate to get rid of them because what if one scratches, or what if something happens, and yeah. But there's a lot of times we don't even watch our hard copies because we find it on Amazon or
Other
Netflix, and we just watch it that way, or
other ways.
But we don't want to get rid of them because we're crazy like that. But on to the cons.
Our first con is
Pumpkin Painting Party 2017.
in Suamico, Wisconsin, and it's $50. So what this is, because I looked it up because I was like, why is it $50? What it is that you get a wood cutout of a pumpkin.
Oh.
Okay, and you paint one side for Halloween and the other side for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of like one of the like drinking with your friends thing, but it's 18 and older.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really for the kiddies. And because at first I was like, well, that's really good for the kids. A pumpkin painting party, would be good for the kids. You add some orchard, and there's a lot of those going on right now, and I would definitely go to those. This one you could easily do at home, in my opinion. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could get the pumpkin from like Hobby Lobby or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you could get the paints there, and you could get small bottles for really cheap. So
Yeah, because it's probably acrylic paint that they're using.
yeah,
And
it's definitely
really
acrylic.
reasonable.
I mean, if you want to go. But I'm just saying, there's other ways, and I would rather, with something like that, would rather be inclusive with my entire family than just...
The $50 goes towards the supplies. Mm-hmm. It's a one-day event, you said?
It's a one-day event, yes. It's like a night event. It's
Okay.
So, and then we have Red Christmas.
Holiday Horror Film Screening 2017.
At Club David in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The tickets are $8 in advance and $12 at the door.
That is awesome. I am all about taking Halloween into Christmas. Our tree is decorated in Nightmare Before Christmas every single year. Yes, we are those kind of people.
And I understand what you're saying, but I would rather have waited them after Halloween, not before. I am so tired of seeing... Look, it's Halloween. Look, it's Christmas. I'm tired of seeing skeletons and zombies next to Christmas trees. So...
Well, we already have our Halloween decorations out because we're those kind of people. Halloween is all year for us, and we even got married on Halloween because we're just those kind of people. But, it takes all kinds, so that's the way it goes.
Our wine and canvas Halloween Hill is in the Running Vines Winery in Chesterton, Indiana. Wednesday, September the 27th, 2017, from 6 to 9 p.m. It's $35 a person. It's one of those drinking paints.
Oh, nice. How much can I drink before the canvas starts looking good? That would be me. Bunnyman over here is a painter, so it always looks good when he paints. But me, it's like, let's see how much I can drink before this actually starts looking good. Probably not much because I'm kind of a lightweight nowadays, but that's the fun in it.
The good thing is that it's relatively cheap for one of those things. Those things get pretty expensive.
Yeah, well, wine is pretty expensive.
Well, no, you bring your own wine.
Huh?
You bring your own wine. I'm pretty sure here they provide. I'm pretty sure you have to buy the wine there. They're like, yeah, you have to buy your wine here. But a lot of those wine and paints, you bring your own alcohol into them. They're popular. I've seen some of them go $50, $60 a person.
Wow.
So, but this one's Halloween themed, so that's cool.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Plus, you get to go to a winery, so that's always good. Our other event is Karma Burlesque and Dollface Dames 2017 at the Karma Lounge, and that's in LA.
The first and last Thursday of every month.
Yeah, so this is an ongoing thing. The 28th is, it's cosplayer Gone Wild. Let's Geek Out. That's their theme, is cosplay. October the 5th is 4-year Karma anniversary. October the 26th is pre-Halloween burlesque, and then November the 2nd is the Day of the Dead. It's at a bar called the Karma Bar, and tips are appreciated. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's not here before we get really into what is considered cons. Those aren't considered cons, in my opinion.
They might not actually be cons, but they're Halloween events.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But a lot of little pumpkin patches around your area are definitely getting to the Halloween spirit. Even if you take your kids out. Some of my favorite experiences were when I was a kid. We would go out to a pumpkin patch. We would pick out our own pumpkins. We would support a local business.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Go out to your local pumpkin patch and let your children pick out pumpkins, or you pick out pumpkins, and definitely much rather support a local business than a big food chain.
Well, and a lot of times, pumpkins are cheaper.
Right.
And sometimes they'll even have like maybe a $2-3 hayride around. Usually $2 or $3, just so they have enough money to pay for the diesel for the
Right.
the tractor. $10 I think is the most I've seen for just for like a little hayride around the property. There are some parks I know when we were living in the big metropolis area that we were living in, that the next town over had a sort of a Halloween where it was geared at the kids, and they would put decorations in the woods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like free events like that, or pumpkin patch events, and those to me I would go. Those are the things that I would suggest everybody to go to.
Well, I know there's a big pumpkin patch in the city next to ours, and they have a haunted corn maze, and they have a great big pumpkin patch there too. So we could go to the corn maze and pick out a pumpkin on the same property,
Which we probably should do.
So that's really cool that they have that kind of stuff.
Okay, so getting to the cons. We have Cult Classic Convention 2017. Bastrop Convention and Exhibition.
Exhibit Center, yeah. And Bastrop, Texas. Tickets, weekend pass is $35. The VIP pass is $175.
So I think most VIP ones are definitely sold out by now. I think a lot of them are. The VIP passes, or I think if I had the money, I would definitely do it because you get all the little nicety, like a T-shirt and something else.
Right,
and
they always have like a little goodie bag that's full of special things. So it's nice to get the VIP thing, VIP pass, because you get the perks.
So let's see what's going on at the Cult Classic. We got Sid Haig coming, Mark Price, Edwin Neal, John Dugan,
Caroline Williams.
and many more. So
Lots of cool people going. Lots of cool people.
one of your favorite movies.
No.
Courtney Gaines
no,
from
no,
The
no.
Children of the Corn.
No Children of the Corn. Creepy little buggers.
They have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Reunion 2017 going on at this event. So that's pretty cool. That a lot of the people from the original film are going to be there. And some of the screen used props are going to be there that they used for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre #2. Hey, look, Felicity Rose from Sleepaway Camp is going to be there. It looks like, Casey Orr from Gore is going to be there. There's a lot of interesting people going to be there.
Yep.
Definitely worth a go-to. And supposedly the guy who drove Lee Harvey Oswald to the Texas Depository is going to be there. Okay, that's cool. All right, moving on to the next one. Our next one is the Fall of the House of Monsterama. Monsterama. 2017. The 29th to Sunday, October the 1st, at Atlanta Marriott.
Alpharetta in Atlanta, Georgia. 3-day pass for $55. That's not horrible. Does that have Dick Miller from Bucket of Blood there?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
That's why I would go.
I want to go. Bucket of Blood.
Bucket of blood. As our daughter goes,
More like a saucepan of blood.
Yes. But other than
Yeah, it's got Dick Miller from Bucket of Blood there.
also we have
I mean, he was in a crap ton of other
yeah,
movies,
yeah.
but that's the one we know. I mean, we know the other ones too, but that's the only movie he didn't play like a janitor in. All the other ones, he's mopping up the blood. This one, he's making blood. Well, at least he was clean about it. It's in a bucket. I mean, so, you know.
Several other ones are Charles Rutledge, Barbell Luna, Sybil Danning, Gene Warren Jr.,
Lynn Lowry.
Daniel Roebuck, John Ferris, Ricky Hess, Dark Stoker, and Professor Morty, aka Shane Morton. So yeah, several. It looks pretty good. I would just go for Dick Miller though. I'll make him sign my saucepan. Sign my saucepan.
With a bucket of blood on it and get him to sign it. Because that would be awesome.
Alright, the next one would be Sacramento Horror Film Festival at the Colonial Theater, Sacramento, California. That's the 29th through the 30th of this month. Okay, the best site to go to check this out is Facebook, because their other one has all the cons that the parent company's hosting, and it's really hard trying to follow. This is the 11th annual one that they have.
2 days, 2 nights of the absolute best in horror genre entertainment. You think they got the big hit? in addition to horrifying short and feature films.
And a single day pass is 20, and a 2-day pass is 25. And they have Sydney Sin, Katie Nicole, Lucy Rizzo, Princess Buttercup, Missy Savvy, Mark Leathers, Sissy Strange. This sounds like a horror porn convention. The films, programs, and showtimes are all to be announced. So, not really much going on here.
Not a whole lot of information. So,
No.
unfortunately.
Yeah. For that price, if you're in that region,
Something to do.
yeah.
You can RSVP on Facebook too. So
Yeah. There's 150 that were already RSVP'd for it. So it seems like there's plenty of openings. All right. Next one is Scarefest, September the 29th through October the 1st at Lexington Convention Center in Lexington, Kentucky. Oh, the cool thing about this one, on Friday, they have a Hero Day. So anybody who's a veteran, active duty, first responder, you all get in on that day for free.
cool.
So, and then you have to pay for the rest. But, Robert Englund's going to be there. Danny Trejo, Barry Bostwick, John Kessler, Amy Allen from The Dead Files, Chip Coffey,
Mountain Monsters.
Ghost Brothers.
Tracy Lords.
This is sponsored by the Ghost Hunters Weekends.
The 10th anniversary show of Ghost Brothers. Okay.
And then Master Illusionist Aidan Sinclair is going to be there. So,
And Amy Bruni. There's going to be quite a few people there, so should be a really good time.
and it looks like they have a Kids Day. They have a Teen and Tween Pass, which are half priced, 11 through 17. They have a thing on the 1st with Home Depot for Kids Day.
So for kids events, they're going to have a kids costume contest, multiple crafting, arts, prop building station, cornhole fun, and much, much more. All free with admission.
at that Home Depot, I believe. So, that's really good though. Bring the kiddies out. And, you could take them there. Who can pass that up?
Right.
Anybody who gets older, we start having kids.
Right.
And you definitely want to involve them in the sort of like the horror community. Because knowing our daughter loves horror movies.
Yeah.
I would hate to not take her with us if we're going to go to a horror convention.
Right. And they usually don't have things that are for smaller children. Our daughter is much older, but at least they have things now for smaller children if you have smaller children, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. Our next one is Arcana 47.
September 29th through October 1st.
At the Best Western Plus Cosmo Park Hotel, St. Paul, Minnesota. And this is a completely 80s feel. Everything just makes it feel 80s. So the best one to look at is actually the Arcana Facebook group. Okay, it's $50 at the door. And it's called a membership, so you have to pay this membership. I don't know what that all involves.
Scroll back down. Pay for membership via PayPal. Please include contact information and mention Arcana in the accompanying note. Maybe because it's at a hotel, so you have to pay that in order to go. I don't understand why they did that, but
Unless this is some sort of society. There's very little information, but if you did this before the 31st of August, the membership would have been $40.
guests of honor include William F. Nolan, creator of Logan's Run, special guest filmmaker Jason V. Brock, digital artist Suni K. Brock, editor Roy C. Booth, playwright Cynthia Booth, artist Fastener and Larson.
So that's basically all we know of this. There's just not a lot of information.
It doesn't really say what the membership does, if it's just for this one event, or if they send you emails every month to keep you updated on upcoming events, or, anything like that. It doesn't really say.
But this one's definitely more sci-fi feel than horror.
Yeah, it's very sci-fi.
Yeah, especially with Logan's Run. On to the next one.
Sorry that we didn't have more information on that. That's all the website shows.
Alright. Cinema Wasteland Movie and Memorabilia Expo 2017. Friday the 29th to Sunday the 1st, 2017 at the Holiday Inn in Strongsville, Ohio. And it looks like this event's for free to get into because they want you to spend their money on stuff. So And I guess the theme for this one is celebrating the drive-in and grindhouse era. Again, there's not a lot of information on this that we can see.
It just says, we've jammed in the usual 60 plus hours worth of stuff to do over a 3-day weekend. Managed to get 10 of our attending guests squeezed in 5 talks or panels and have a few things on the film to screen this time around since we have the space to wedge it into the weekend film schedule. You'll find a button to get to print the weekend schedule right there at the top of the films and events page of the website where it always is. Feel free to use this handy link. Okay, so at least they have a schedule or a roster. Did we mention that you still have until September 8th to grab a 3-day pass into the show and save $10 off?
Day off show prices.
So there is a cost, but go back to the main website.
Okay, we really don't know what's going on here. If you're interested, check it out.
So there is evidently a charge. It may be per showing. They may have just a general rate that you can pay to watch all of the viewings.
Or there might be like a panel fee.
I'm not really sure. But their website does have a phone number. Mm-hmm. And it has the schedule. So at least they have contact information to where you can call and ask questions or whatever.
But it looks like they're mostly going to be vending DVDs, posters, autographs, and collectibles. And it's mostly focused, it looks like, in the Drive Americana era.
But if you're wanting to go that, it's cinemawasteland.com is their website.
Or you can look at Cinema Wasteland on Facebook, and it will pull up their Facebook page.
Yes, they do have a Facebook page with the schedule and everything on it too.
Our next one is Walker Stalker Con Philadelphia 2017, September the 30th through Sunday, October the 1st, 2017 at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, Oaks, Pennsylvania. 2-day tickets are $90. Saturdays tickets are $55 and Sundays are $45. It's a really pricey event in my opinion.
Yeah, it's up there.
I think that's one of the higher priced ones we've seen for a while. Oh yeah, and there's also a separate, I think, fee for photo ops.
Oh.
So, and it looks like a few people are going to be there. Or is the guy...
Yeah, well-known people.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus is going to be there
Who played...
from Walking Dead. And Carly Payton is going to be there from Walking Dead. Laurie Holden from Walking Dead.
Jill Maria Jones from Ash vs. Evil.
And Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, she was also in Sleepy Hollow. So there's going to be a lot of very well-known actors and actresses there. So that's probably why they're charging an additional fee for photo ops.
A lot of Walking Dead people are going to be there.
Yeah, that's just a few. There's many more.
Actually, I think it's like the majority of the cast of Walking Dead is going to be there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of them there.
And Ron Perlman's going to be there. Ryan Hurst and Tommy Flanagan from Sons of Anarchy are all going to be there too. And then a lot of people from Ash vs. the Evil Dead. There's a lot there. I mean, it's a pretty big guest list.
That's probably why it's going to be...
$100 a person.
A huge admission because they're going to have a lot of top people going to be there.
Yeah. But really, it looks like that's it, though. It looks like they're not...
That's why they call it Walker Stalker. You know, Walking Dead. There's...
Yeah.
You know.
But it doesn't look like we're going to be showing anything or, you know, it's like, here's these people who are going to be here and here's photo ops. So I wonder if that's all this is.
Oh.
If you know, please contact us so we know better. And then our next one is the Granbury Paranormal Expo 2017, Saturday the September 30th through Sunday, October 1st, 2017 at Granbury Historical Downtown Square in Granbury, Texas. Tickets are free.
Wow, that's good.
So again, there's really not a lot of information on this. It's
in their downtown square.
Mm-hmm. And it says, join us as we kick off Halloween season with the 6th annual Granbury Paranormal Expo. The street festival is in the middle of Granbury's historical downtown square. Will feature ghost hunters, sci-fi, horror, fantasy, cosplay, and more. Free to the public. Special guest Charlene Harris, best-selling author of Suki Stockhouse series, which inspires HBO's True Blood. Bono Ferruggio, mentor of those who have experienced paranormal phenomena. George Steffens, researcher and investigator of the paranormal. And Ken Gerthard, renowned cryptozoologist.
With a special guest appearance by Haley's Heroes. Stay tuned for more guest announcements. If you're interested in being a vendor exhibitor at the expo, email us at granberriesghosts@gmail.com.
And it is labeled kid-friendly. So
Community-free admission and kid-friendly.
Yes.
So that's great. If you live in the area, go out there and enjoy the festivities. That's something cool to take your family to on the weekend. Go out to the community event.
And it's nice to see them trying to sort of like rejuvenate town squares, because town squares in most cities, in most towns.
Yeah, they usually just die, and it's so sad because the history there is so prevalent in town squares, and most of them just die out.
Now, I mean, the only reason why we go to our town square is just to go to the courthouse.
No, most time.
And then it's still a nightmare for parking.
It is. And that's how most of them are, unfortunately.
All right. And then our next one, it's a dancing thing, like it's a rave. It's a horror glow backlight dance party. St. Louis, Missouri. So if you live in St. Louis, it's $15 at the door, $10 pre-sale at the Cracked Fox. And I'm thinking it's an all-nighter thing. And if you dress up, you get like a free shot.
If you dress up in a Halloween costume?
Yeah. Free shot with glow costume. You have to have a glow costume on.
Kick off Halloween season the right way. Our yearly Halloween glow at Crack Fox is sure to get your spooky souls in the spirit. Pole dancing, go glow dancing, belly dancing, saber art, body painting, and more. We are adding merch vendors this time, so bring extra cash or a card. While we welcome Glad Rags, St. Charles, and DJ Forensic and Shinard featuring Roxy Misbehavin'.
You're doing it wrong. It's Roxy Misbehavin'?
Yeah, okay. Greta Garter, Allura Fetty, Julia Flash. Saturday, September 30th, 9 p.m. $10 pre-sale, $15 at the door. Free shot with a glow costume.
Okay, this one makes me feel old. This is like maybe when I was like 18, but now I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. It's like, that's nice. Pole dancing, go-go dancing. Yeah, not my thing.
Sadly enough, we have glow sticks and things in storage. Did I mention we got married on Halloween? And we have costumes because we love Halloween and we're like big kids. So we could go to this with very little preparation, but we're old and younger people would look at us and go, why are you here?
Like,
weirdos.
Yeah.
We're here for the free shot.
Give us our booze. I mean, we're not like super old, but we're not this age range. We're not the. I remember when raves were a big thing when we were, hitting our teens, and they sort of died out. And I can't actually believe that raves have become sort of like a.
I think every generation has their rave.
Yeah, but this one's weird to me because raves were always like, I'm going to a rave. It was like, where is it? Can't tell you. Type thing,
It's
it
in
was
the middle
like
of a cornfield somewhere.
And then now it's like
They organized this one, buddy.
Yeah,
It's organized.
This one goes on to Sunday to 2:30 in the morning. So now that is not best or bedtime, but it would be our dogs. So and if we're not home when our dog's ready for bed, we're in trouble. I wish that wasn't true. She'll come at the door and be like, "Where were you? Why were you out so late? Let's go to bed."
In trouble. I tore up everything that you hold dear but myself, and you're in trouble.
And our next one is this one. I don't think is going on. Bay of Blood is in Tampa, Florida, but the last time I checked, which was the 22nd of September, that their Facebook said that we're okay because of Irma. But it didn't really hit us. But I don't think they're going to put it on. I don't think they're going to do it this year because even their website is closed.
Oh.
So And then this is what their Facebook said. Posted on the 13th. So it said just...
Good morning, the Florida sun is back and all is well with Bay of Blood. In the end, we got through Irma with very little damage or flooding as the storm didn't hit us directly. Our neighbors on the coast in Naples and up in Jacksonville weren't so lucky. However, in the aftermath, it's great to see everyone pulling together and helping each other out. Thank you.
So it doesn't sound like very promising, in my opinion.
Well, their last post was on the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't posted anything since then to say, hey, we plan on still carrying on our event. Maybe that's still kind of up in arms and they aren't quite sure. But their main webpage isn't up.
Well, it's from last year. Everything's from last year.
Right. Nothing's been updated for this year. So I would think if they were planning on doing an event next week, their website would be updated.
You would think. So if you were planning on going to this or it piques your interest, message them because it says, if you actually look at Facebook on the messenger thing, it says, typically it replies within a few hours. So send them a message if you're interested or try to see if they're on Twitter. I don't know.
It's Bay of Blood, and they do have a Facebook page. They're in Tampa, Florida.
Mm-hmm. But the way that Florida was hit,
right.
They probably don't even know if they're going to have, and especially with this new one, Maria, that's coming in, it's unpredictable.
Right.
It's just...
Even though they weren't hit directly, a lot of places around them were hit, and it's still going to affect them as far as supplies getting to them. So even though they themselves were not hit directly and their location wasn't damaged as bad as the places around them, they're going to be still affected as far as people getting to their location and supplies getting to their location. So
in my opinion, this one would be canceled. I would cancel it and just be like, I'm sorry, everybody. I mean, that's just what I would do, just because of the way that Florida is. Now, help out if you were planning on going and you had the money. Donate it to the Florida Relief System, try to get them back on their feet, as a horror community. The biggest thing that we need to do is pull together and help out everybody that we can. So,
well, is that all the cons?
I think there's one more.
One more.
And I think this one, yeah. Okay, so it's Poppy's Pumpkin Patch. It's in Norfolk, Nebraska. So if you live in Nebraska, and it's free. And this is what I was saying. This is a pumpkin patch. They're having, have your kids come in and buy your pumpkin. The thing about this one is that they have a zip line thing, and now that's priced. But they're not telling you the price. They're like, if you're interested, contact us about it.
So Ryan and Michelle Walken are the proud new owners of Poppy's Pumpkin Patch. Poppy is located in south of Norfolk. Is it Nebraska?
Nebraska.
It is an on-the-farm family business that sells homegrown pumpkins while offering family-style entertainment at a reasonable cost. We are very excited for the new adventure and have plans in the works for expansion. Poppy's was started by the Hintz family in the fall of 1999. They added many attractions each year, such attractions include a petting zoo, country cafe, 100-foot slide, zip line, horse carousel, train rides, and so much more. We are adding a new menu to the country cafe to stimulate your taste buds. We also are building a new 100-foot dual racing slide and corn pit. Weird. Keep posted on the new attractions coming to our fall festival this year.
Hey, it's Nebraska. They really like their corn. It's almost like Illinois.
So they don't charge any kind of admission, but they may charge for certain parts of their attractions. But hey, you can go. You can have dinner.
It looks like you can make a day out of it.
You can go, you can have dinner, you can probably walk around the grounds, and you can take your small children. They have a petting zoo. It looks like they have a duck pond. And it's just like a big family-owned farm, so you can teach your children. A lot of people live in big cities and their children and them themselves have never even seen what it's like to be on a farm. So you could teach your children, hey, this is how what the farm is like. Children don't even know, have never even seen farm animals. So that would be a really great experience to teach your kids, and they could pick out a pumpkin, and it's just a big overall experience.
Those pumpkins are going to be fresher than the ones you're going to get at Walmart or...
Right. The ones from Walmart are purchased states away, put in cooler trucks, shipped in. So they're not fresh. Every produce, all the produce we buy from Walmart is shipped in from states away, put into cooler trucks to be refrigerated, stored in storage lockers, in cooling lockers, and then shipped in. So it's never fresh as you want it to be. And your child can pick out,
well, and the good
their
thing,
own individual personality pumpkin.
Well,
for
the
their
good
own
thing,
individual size. So
the good thing about pumpkin patches too, from what I remember, is that various sizes are different prices too. So if you have a smaller pumpkin, you're not going to be spending
$7-8. It's $1 or $2.
Yeah, and where you get, if you really want a massive one, you're looking at 20, 30. Like, I'm talking like, it takes 2 people to carry it, and you're like, why am I doing that? Like...
Right. Yeah, and if you have a very small child that needs a very small pumpkin because that's really all they can carry.
Yeah.
If your child needs to take a pumpkin to school, or if you just want them to have a small one to decorate because that's all they have the attention span for is a little bitty one, then obviously you can personalize the pumpkin for the child, and that's a good growing experience. And this is something you could do as a tradition with your family every year. You could take them back there and you can see how it's grown, and that can be a whole family event that you do. It can be a tradition.
But if you haven't noticed, me and Crazy Susie are very much put money back into your own community.
Yes.
It's just something that, as we become more international, me and her have just sort of agreed on that this is what we want to do, because our local community reflects us, and if you can find it locally, buy it locally. There is no point in, especially with pumpkins or fresh produce, going to, Walmart where you could get better produce.
Right. Not that Walmart is a horrible place, but I would much rather help the little man who is, like your neighbor, than go to a big company and all you're doing is lining billionaires' pockets. That's all you're doing. I would rather help the little man. But the really great part about this place is, they have so much going on. They have according to the photos that we're looking at now, they have a cafe, so you can go and have lunch or dinner with your family.
And I'm pretty sure it's pretty fresh.
Yeah, it's country cooking, so it's stick to your rib kind of stuff. They have a little train, so your kids can get on the train and ride around on the train. They can pick out a pumpkin.
It looks like, or any sort of like gourd,
they have all these. They have.
They have the slide.
They have face painting. So they really do revolve this around small children. They have petting zoo to where.
This one even have buffalo.
They have all this stuff for little kids. It really is great. Mm-hmm. All the things that they have for small kids.
And I think
and we don't have a really small child. We have a 17-year-old, but she would still love to go to something like this. She is still like a little kid. She loves animals, so she would love to go to something like this. We don't live anywhere near Nebraska,
but we do live out in the country. We do live out in the country, and we have something very similar. And we both grew up in very rural. Well, you didn't grow up in a very rural area. I did. You grew up in a city. I grew up in a rural. So we're sort of, you're sort of backpedaling, going to rural.
I prefer to live in the city. I'm in the country. I don't know.
But this one's funny to me. They have a gazebo.
Yeah.
So,
you can check them out on Facebook. Their Facebook page has tons of photos, and it tells you all the different things that they have, and they're still expanding too. So
yeah.
If you have any ideas, you could always shoot them an email or whatever and let them know what ideas you might have. And they do have their number on there to where you can call to see if they have certain operating hours or anything like that before you guys head over if you have any questions.
But they also have directions how to get there.
Right.
It's, let's say you don't live in Nebraska. Not many people do, I think. But I'm just saying, to see if there's any pumpkin patches in your area. If you have kids or...
I think most places generally do
Yeah.
have like a farmer's market or something like that to where they can buy fresh pumpkins. And there even may be some farmers that will let you come out to the actual farm and pick them out there. Mm-hmm. Most of them don't have issues with that.
As long as they know of... Don't just show up on some farmer's land and go, hey, can I piss? Because that's how you get shotgun. That's how you get a slug. So definitely call ahead with farmers. But
Well, I believe that's all the terror news for today.
I think our next thing we're going to be... We were talking about the haunted house list. Well, we're going to have a... What did you call it? A live... It's not a live talk. It's a chat about... So the haunted list thing fell flat. So we'll have a special sort of announcement.
Thank you guys for your time, and we'll scare you later.